Damaged Goods Podcast.
The robing, you gotta make sure the robing is tight. It feels too cold for both of our robes, I feel like, though. No?
Probably. You know what, though? This New York heat that they
That's
pump
right.
into the apartments.
That's right.
I could hear, I don't know if you could hear, but there's like sizzling in the background from these
sounds like
radiators.
a pit of vipers, right?
Dying.
That's one thing I don't miss about New York is like you don't have to pay for the heat, but you can't control it. So sometimes it's just like you got to sleep with the window open in fucking February.
I had my air conditioner on this morning.
I mean, like I've been lucky because it's like, you know, nice-ish.
Yeah.
It's cool, but I was in Mexico just for 2 weeks ago. It was actually very hot, so I love this coolness. I know. So this silk robe is ill-fitting for the weather, but I keep all the windows and fans and everything off on my podcast for supreme audio. So
I know. I turned my air conditioner off.
Oh, you are so considerate. Well, that's why the thin robe is good. That you breeze. The thick ones you can sweat. Yeah, but you get.
If I start glistening, it's a good thing.
You get way more airflow with your sleeves. The wizard sleeves, dude. Straight up, you look like you could cast a spell in that thing.
I can.
I know you.
Enough to cast spells.
Are you a witch?
Bruja.
Bruja. Yeah, I have a lot of those. My mother, my girl, and some of my aunts. So yeah, I've been dealing with that a lot. That's great. Fucking fantastic. Salem over here. I live in Salem.
Oh yeah.
That looks like a witch goblet too.
I went to. It does, right?
Very elegant. Very goblet. Very goblety.
I'm in theme. My home is very in theme. Mine is, well, I have a stripper pole. So besides that, everything has like a nice little.
That's very, what the kids would say, on brand. It's very on brand of you. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta keep the theme going. My theme is kind of like island vibes in here. If you were to
I could see that for you.
Like a little trees and palm tree things and palm tree like pillows and the curtains and then West Indian art, shit like that.
Are you into plants? Like, are you a plant dad?
No, but I would like to be. I like plants. I like having them around. They look cool.
I became a plant mom. I never cared very much about plants. I'm very city, you know? I didn't care that much about greenery. I just got into plants, and my friend put me on to a page on Facebook called Plants Without Pants. So you basically pose nude with your plants. This is my favorite thing to do now.
You talk about being on brand, dude. You're right on the street.
Now I'm like, how many plants can I get in my apartment to pose naked with?
You can go to a plant store too. Then you don't have to bring them all home, or they're not cool with the naked in the store, huh? The plant store.
Not in the store, but there's a community of plant people who will like exchange clippings of their plants so you can grow your own from theirs. Plant people are great. They're my people. I just found this out. Plant people are my people.
You use like the leaves can cover like certain, it's like the Adam and Eve photos, you know, the old biblical photos of one leaf covering the genital regions.
Yes, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. That plant woman voice, that one with nature voice, is a guest of mine here on Damaged Goods. She's a model. She's a nude model, if you were to get technical. You also kind of were like a manager of other models at one point in time, per se. Are you helping?
I was trying to make that like an agency vibe. But you know what? The internet, you don't need these things anymore with the internet. You just don't. With social media specifically, you don't need an agent.
And she's also a very forward-thinking entrepreneur. My guest, Leevon Lux, in the house from all the way from the other side of the country, New York City. I'm in Los Angeles, but the powers of the internet, we're here to do this, you know.
Here we are.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping we could do this like in the real thing, and then things have been complicated with being able to travel and such. So,
I know.
But this is great. Thank you for taking the time. If you're not watching, you're listening. Listen with your eyeballs. We're in robes and shit. So
sexy ass robes.
We are like naked robe games and stuff. Well, if this was like the TV show, I have a TV show pitch. If it gets picked up, we would have to do this episode. Maybe you and one of your co-worker friends, but we'd all have to be naked. But maybe they'd blur it out if it's on the wrong channel, right channel. We don't have to worry about that. You know,
Right.
internet. It's funny on the internet, right? Like YouTube, can they have nudity on YouTube? No. Right?
No, they're like the most strict.
Yeah, they have. I would imagine. But like, if I was, why is YouTube more strict than like a porn website?
I don't know. I had a friend that got her video was taken down because like her nipples were hard.
On YouTube.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything sexual.
But like, if I'm like an 8-9-year-old kid, right, and the parents are worried about the kid coming across certain shit on the interwebs. I like to refer to it as the interwebs because that makes me sound older. I want to be older.
Right. I like sounding old.
I know I don't. I just look old, but like, okay, I'm a parent. I don't want my little 8-year-old to fucking look at the wrong shit. They go on
Right.
YouTube. It's safe, but boom, what if they hit like Pornhub or Lobster Tube or whatever? Like, how the fuck?
What if they just go out in real life? Like I've seen PDA that was more offensive than things on the internet.
New York City, like on the subway, you'll see. I'm sure you in your life you've
Oh
seen.
my God, the things I've seen.
Shit that is not allowed on YouTube, but Twitter lets it fly. But
No, I've seen so much random penis in New York City that it's like my whole life.
Sit out on the train. That's like a common thing. Like a lot of my friends, especially female friends that are from New York or lived there for a long period of time, have encountered a penis out and about on the subway, on the tracks, or in a subway car.
That's normal. That's totally normal. But if you see like areola on Instagram, it's like you're the devil.
Well, like recently, it seems like you caught a little bit of the fucking Sailor Witch trials on the interwebs, on Instagram in specific. Instagram, if you're spying and listening to the podcast, don't ban me though. I'm just listening. It's whatever you say. No, I'm just bored. It's what they want. But
it's so true though. They're after me. I cannot post shit. Anything I post gets automatically taken down.
So
the newest thing is that I'm soliciting sex. That's the newest guideline that I've managed to violate.
I get shit banned or pulled down because it, violates. It's offensive. It's my shit. I'm not showing nipples and such.
Right.
Well, here you go. But
yours is safe. Mine is not.
I've gotten those notifications. When you get something that says what does that notification look like?
So now if I tell them, hey, like here's a sexy photo, and let's say I'm just wearing a bikini, which is allowed technically on Instagram, and I say, come see more on my OnlyFans, it's taken down because I'm soliciting sex.
So can people not promote their OnlyFans on Instagram?
They do not like promoting OnlyFans. Like I have found little loopholes, but they do not like it linked to your page. They don't like when you have the swipe ups on the story. They do not.
Is that because they don't want essentially competition? They don't want you promoting another platform?
That's what I think it is, but they're hiding under the guise of soliciting sex.
Community guidelines. So it's you're soliciting sex, we're taking your post down, Leevon Lux.
Right. And if they take down a certain amount of posts, they'll just delete your whole page, which has happened to people I know.
Yeah.
And so the last couple of times they told me that they were deleting my page. So I made a backup account. The backup account was attacked in like 2 days. Where they deleted like 1 or 2 of my photos for like linking OnlyFans. They like deleted some of my photos. But I'm like, you know what? I've lasted years with the other account, so I still got a good amount of time to fuck shit up with my backup account.
That's like I follow you. I see what you post, and other people like you that post that similar content. They do what you do. They have like the I don't even know what it's called, the Photoshop work magic. Like nipples are blurred out. Like like fucking genitals are blurred out. You can't see anything that looks different than a person in a bathing suit, right? So I wonder where it is that they draw the line. Is it people complaining, like commenting, reporting it, or is it something?
I used to think that it was reporting. I don't think it's reporting now. I have not pissed off this many people. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way I've pissed off this many people.
You're likable. They shouldn't.
I think I'm likable. There's no freaking way that I pissed off someone enough to report and they're going back 3 or 4 years into my post to delete and report these photos. So like
they're going to your old.
Huh?
They're going to old posts and things like that.
Old posts, like a person wouldn't do that. That's just the system. That's the
There's
algorithm.
some exes who go in my old thing. You never know. I get it. I get it.
You know, if I wasn't single for this long, I'd be like, maybe I like fucked some shit up. Maybe I fucked someone who actually had I cannot possibly have annoyed anyone this much in years. So it has to be a system that they go through, that they just like pull out these photos and throw up like, oh, well, you violated guidelines.
It's wild. They don't really give. I mean, have they just ever said like, "Yo, we're about to just terminate your shit. It's over. It's a wrap"? Or do you get like warnings and like? I mean, I
thought that I was gonna wake up. This was like a week or so ago. I thought I was gonna wake up and that the page was gonna be gone. I made the backup like real quick because they sent me a thing that was different from the others. That was like, if you have another violation, we are deleting your account. Basically, that was a post. So I made it back up.
They can't.
And they still didn't delete it yet. Oh, they froze me out for 24 hours. I couldn't access anything on that page for 24 hours.
That's, I mean, like if you have strict guidelines to what is allowed on your network, your platform, right? And you lay those out, that's right. That's fine. That's cool. It's like, this is what it takes to play on this field. This field's a little different. And they say, okay, Twitter, Twitter is like, you can see everything, porn on Twitter, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Instagram is going to say, okay, you can swear, you can say maybe some weird political shit. You just can't show any titties, dick, pussy, butthole, whatever, or anything too crazy. So, okay, you post photos and content that does not represent that. You take the time. I mean, somebody took the time to do things to photos of yours to blur that out, whether it's you or whoever. So you've gone along with our guidelines, and they're still.
I have not violated the terms.
They're sitting there and they're pondering, or they're in there. No. They say no. They hit the no button and fuck your shit.
Yeah. You know what photo I cannot post at all? I had a photo with a lollipop that had a string of my saliva on it.
What?
Down. I tried and I'm an asshole, so I tried to post it 3 times. Because I'm like, fuck.
Like it's tenacity, though.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, like if you're gonna delete me now. Like I'm going down in a blaze.
Oh, that was the alien. That was the alien. You're like the alien. Yeah. That's crazy because that is not even like a body part.
And it was like a beautiful, well lit. Like money went into this photo. It wasn't like a selfie. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've seen shots of like, spider webs being made or like whatever, things like that. Even like blood in horror movie things. And you get the shot and it's all hanging there with the light. That's crazy because that's not anything I would think off the top of my head. Like a woman with a lollipop and saliva. Okay, it's not like some crazy explicit sexual photo.
No, like, I mean, is it sexy? Sure. Is it like, if a kid saw it, they wouldn't even fucking they'd be like, I want a lollipop. Like, they wouldn't even get it.
And then, honestly, I feel like I've seen a million ads for any product, you name it, a car, sneakers or whatever, of a woman, a girl, doing something like that with a lollipop, like sitting on the hood of a car, out in front of a store, whatever. And like, they're selling shit. That's commerce, and that's okay. That's wild.
No, saliva is like a no-no. I've tried.
No more saliva. Girl, they got to cancel saliva. They canceled Thanksgiving. They cancel everything. They're canceling saliva. You can't even have saliva in your fucking mouth.
No.
That's crazy. Wow.
I know.
Like, it's funny because when I do worry about censorship, like for everybody, artists, anyone who want to express themselves, and my selfish personal worries are about like freedom of speech because I write and I want to say things. And then I might not even be thinking like, okay, and I know it affects everyone in different ways, but you're not even necessarily saying things. Your freedom of expression is a physical act. And you're complying with guidelines in some ways, right? Like if a store said, you got to wear a shirt to come in here, would you do? Maybe wear the shirt, right? You see me?
Wearing the shirt.
Yeah. So like, I just feel like it's kind of, I don't know, man. That's
bullying. It's straight up bullying.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And they're doing it to all models.
I was about to ask.
I mean, like, there's sex workers who make porn, straight up hardcore porn, and they can't post in like some of them, amateur porn. They can't wear like a t-shirt and say like, come check out my site or come check out my whatever. Like they can't, because Instagram doesn't like them. If it says that you do these things in your bio, you're getting attacked.
Yeah.
Not allowed to be a sex worker on social media. Like you're getting attacked.
I have a couple friends, not like super close, acquaintances, friends of mine who are in that realm, and they on certain platforms they're a little more explicit. Like Twitter, they'll talk about it, but I don't know if they necessarily conduct business there. And on their Instagram, they don't really advertise it in the most explicit way. But I think if you were a little sharp, a little smart, you might
read between the lines. You know what it's about.
They don't on the Instagram. They definitely don't go hard, but they don't go hard on any of the social media platforms, because if they're really working at it, they're using like your regular forms of communication, WhatsApp, Signal, texts, whatever, you know what I'm saying, for the actual work. Maybe they promo a little on the interwebs, but if they got clients, they're not,
Right, of course. But there's some fucked up loophole with people who have like a substantial amount of followers. So like if you have like 1 million followers, you can kind of show whatever you want and they're not taking the work down.
Instagram doesn't want to lose you because you're bringing people to the table.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's funny though, because I have seen them fuck with people for various reasons, whatever, that have a decent amount, maybe only like max 100,000, which is still a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll fuck with them over whatever they're saying. And sometimes it is because maybe they engage in arguments with some people who are petty enough to go report them. Or like I posted some shit the other day that referenced like, I didn't even say the word COVID-19 or shutdown or I didn't say anything, but it somehow referenced it. And I got a certain message like, we're going to attach this link because you represented or you said something that represents this. We want to make sure people aren't like misled. It's like an info thing.
Oh yeah.
Say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even promoting any, like false
if you
info.
say anything about the election, it attaches like a voting thing.
Yeah, that's you.
Don't use me for your shit.
Yeah.
Don't use what I just said as propaganda on Facebook.
Yeah, it does really seem like there's more of an involvement on their behalf to really monitor. Like you're saying this is kind of widespread amongst people in your line of work, right?
Oh yeah, big time. Big time. We're being attacked so bad. And it's like, so I sent you this article the other day that someone sent me.
Yeah.
It was about, so they're cracking down on sex trafficking. Apparently Trump signed something a few years ago that's now just trickling down the line that was signed for sex trafficking. The problem is sex trafficking gets looped into the everyday sex worker very easily. And I understand people can't tell if some of these girls on these sites are there willingly or not. You know what I mean? So I understand why that happens, but throwing a blanket over all of us and deciding that we are sex traffickers is a problem or being trafficked. Like there needs to be a way where I can say, hey, internet, I'm not being trafficked.
Yeah, I work for myself.
Right.
I have some friends, female friends who work for themselves. And then I've known others who don't. But, that is interesting because if you were to hear a story about, women being trafficked, girls especially, younger women being trafficked, it sounds horrific, and they're taken from this country and maybe they're fed drugs and malnourished and all these things. It sounds horrific because it is. And people don't want that. And why wouldn't you want to stop it? You hear about these high-end, extra extreme high-level sex rings that involve powerful people.
Oh,
it sounds disgusting, right? So you think, oh God, anybody in that, God, I wouldn't want anybody in that realm to be damaged by this. Let's take it all down. And that's a real thing. There's merit there. I get it. But then you got a lot of people in your work, which are choosing to do work that is not even sex work, but getting maybe labeled, or people that even do choose to do it on their own and they do it safely. They're getting lumped in there, and everyone thinks everybody doing anything sexual, even anything sexual, is they're being forced by a foreign crime syndicate, and stolen from their home, and it's
right. And especially just like, and they're looping it in with like OnlyFans. Like, why would you think that all of these women on OnlyFans, thank God for OnlyFans this year, because a lot of us, and I shouldn't just say women, because there's men too, a lot of people have survived COVID because of OnlyFans this year.
I can imagine.
Like, I had an account and I was just throwing like nude photos on there. Once COVID hit and I realized I didn't have my other jobs and like aesthetics and Reiki and all these other things that I did, I was like, oh fuck. I went on OnlyFans and I was like, well, I can make way more money and pay my bills if I just do a little bit more on here for myself. It gave me independence. It gave me a little bit of luxury. I was like, I'm not starving in COVID. That's amazing. I got to move and pay my rent and my bills. Like, that is not sex trafficking. Okay, you just gave a woman her freedom and independence through this website.
Yeah, no, and nobody else was giving it to you. The government gave you a little $1,200 check, and that was it. I know.
That's the other thing. We pay taxes on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
It is on the books. It is official.
I have friends who are dancers, girls who are dancers, and clubs are shut down. And some of them might have done whatever they do on the side. Some did, but either way, their main gig is shut down. So they did like what you were saying. They went on OnlyFans, and that was a way for them to make money. And even if they did do a thing on the side, some of them were a little scared at first to do that, considering all these things. So OnlyFans gave them a lot of survival, man. You know, it breathed life into them. And
people that I never thought would open an account of my friends, like, have opened accounts, and they're like, no, like, I've got kids to feed, I'm doing it. I'm like, yeah, hell, I'll show you how. Like,
and you have people that are. I mean, I'm sure there's like people that just kind of come across you and find you, but I'm sure you have fans. People have fans. And people admire, you know, whether it's a musician, a dancer, a porn star, or a model, whatever. People really like certain people. So if they really like you, they're gonna come and, you know what? I want to see X, Y, and Z photos or video, whatever.
Exactly, because porn is free. You can go on Pornhub and watch porn for free. You're paying to see me on OnlyFans because you like me, and I'm communicating with you on OnlyFans because we have now a relationship.
Yeah, you have a rapport.
That should not be blanket into whatever this trap is for sex work, or sex trafficking, or whatever. It shouldn't all be in the same bin.
It bothers me. And I don't have the answers to shit. I'm certainly not a politician. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a city planner. But it bothers me when they say, okay, you can't go to work, and we're not going to let you work, whether it's your own business, you work for this particular place. But we're also not going to give you any money, and you still got to pay your bills, or you're on the fucking street. So like in some countries, Europe, South America, Central America, maybe some other continents, some countries, they are not only like giving you a stipend every month, they also they didn't freeze bills, pause them, like you still got to pay it in 6 months. They said, oh, these months, never going to have to pay it in your life. And even some of those people in those countries are still like not very happy and whatever, I get it. But here, they didn't do shit other than a $1,200 check. And like my main income, I have a few things I do. My main thing don't exist. My girl's a hairstylist. That doesn't exist. It existed for like a hot second. Now don't exist again, at least in California. So like you can't, and what if I own one of these places? You can't work. You got to pay all these bills. And now we're going to even come after, you found another way to survive. We're going to come after that now too. And that's
basically. This is all falling down at the same time. It's like, why do they not realize how unfair that is? Like, you're not giving us any options here. We're in survival mode, and you're not giving us any options.
It's almost like one perspective you could say is like, okay, they made it kind of hard. They want to fuck with you, and then people like you found another avenue to survive. You got creative. You got I don't know, just fucking very MacGyver with it, you know? Yeah. And that's admirable. That's incredible. That's the human spirit. And then they're going to go, you know what? No, we didn't think you were so adaptive. Fuck you. We're going to come and fuck your shit again, dude. It's kind of, that bothers me, man. That bothers me.
Exactly. And then the only outlet that I have to even advertise what I'm doing is social media. That's like,
take that
you have skin. So you have skin and you're female. So we're going to take your photo down.
I know, it's fucked up, man. It's like social media, you know, when that fucking, I didn't even watch it, the documentary that came out, The Social Dilemma.
I did watch it.
I didn't watch it because I already knew like I know what they're gonna tell me, right? And a lot of people, especially friends of mine, you know, everyone's like, social media is super bad. I know it's super bad. I fucking hate it. The reason I have it is to sell books, sell my podcasts, and my radio show. Like you're selling a modeling career and photo. If I was just like a regular Joe Schmo who like had my own whatever,
I would not have it.
exactly, right?
I
So
would not fucking have. Maybe in my 20s I would have, because it was just, it's like the thing for them, and they're all like, so many people in their younger 20s are so socially fucked that that's like their thing now. I get it, right?
no,
But I would not have social media in this way.
if you didn't need,
I would have like a family Facebook, you know what I mean, to keep in touch. That's it.
But I had a lot of people I knew personally who do actually benefit from it. Some who don't, saying, God, like I'm trying to cut it down, this and that. I'm like, and I feel them. Actually, I tend to delete all my social media every 2 days, download, which is a pain in the ass, but that way I post, promote, get off. But I need it because that's how I'm selling books, because my publisher don't do shit. That's how I promote my podcast and my radio show.
Yeah.
So I'm literally using it to eat, like you kind of are. And
If
so,
you're creative, you need it.
and I get it. It's fucked up. Not even just social media. The overuse of the phone is fucked up. That documentary is on point. I'm not negating it, but I'm trying to find my own healthy way to use it because it actually helps me eat. Now, if I just had a fucking construction company, I like to post pictures of my ugly dog and ugly kid and my ugly wife, my ugly self, or my beautiful versions of that.
Right.
Like, yeah, fuck it. Maybe I wouldn't care, but you need it. It helps me. Helps create it, really.
If you are a creative, especially right now, you need social media. In fact, you need all of the social media. And this is where I'm having a problem, because I don't want to really get on the TikTok movement.
Oh, no,
but everyone's like,
fuck that.
everyone's like, you got to get on the TikTok movement. And I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, because it has this and this and this, and I get this many views. And it's like, oh, I get the science. I'm just at that age.
Yeah,
I fucking hate it.
I'm too old for TikTok, and I don't even think most of the people who like end up supporting what I do even fuck with it.
Yeah.
And everyone I know who does it is very young, or it's people my age who want to appear young. A lot of musicians, right? Because especially in hip hop, music and age have this issue, right? Or even like R&B singers that are female, not male, but I know a lot of R&B singers female. Age is more of their worry than a male. So TikTok is the youthful thing, you know?
Right. What I've noticed is that people in our age group are not like on it. They're viewing it. So they are watching. They're not participating.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I can't do that. It's too much. I know. And you're younger than me, but I will, I don't know. I just can't add another one right now. Unless someone says this is the ultimate one. This is going to encompass all of them. You don't have to.
I tried WhatsApp. I'm not WhatsApp. I'm sorry. Snapchat. And I was like, I can't.
Well, I used it back then until I realized Instagram did the same thing. And then everybody on Snapchat was really just like some of like my like hoe ass friends, male or female or whatever.
That's the shadiest app ever.
It wasn't good for promoting. I didn't get any listeners and purchasers and shit. It was just
it's a shady thought app. Like it just
right away. And I was single at the time when it got popular, and when I downloaded it, and a lot of the women I was hanging out with or whatever were into it. And you know, in that single mode, you like you don't care, but then you start looking at things and you're like, oh man, am I gonna settle down with these like Snapchat girls? No, I can't do that. I'm too old. I'm older than I even am really in my mind. So like,
same old souls.
Old souls, yeah. You know.
I can't get with that. I don't know. I mean, trusting people, you know, that's rough to begin with these days with all the over communication. But now, you know, dating someone who's going to be on Snapchat all the time. I'm like, what are you doing on Snapchat that you need your messages to disappear every few minutes? Yeah. Like, fuck that, bro.
That whole like disappearing thing, I was like, ooh, that's like catering to the shadiest people. That's like catering to like criminals of social media. And in real life, in criminality, shit,
like a burner app.
It's like, why do you have a burner phone and nothing in your name and a lot of like black gloves and black shoes? Like, so, you know, I know you. personally, and I know people who also kind of do your kind of work, and I've in my personal life too. I've also like dated people in different lines of work that some, at least men, or maybe even women dating women, have confidence issues dealing with people seriously after a while. Like, right, they're cool with it, right? Like Snapchat, you might be cool with somebody for a while, then you want to settle down, you get nervous, this person's on there a lot, blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, this cycle sums up my entire dating life.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because like, it's for you, it's not even like, you're not like some girl who just likes to post funny things. It literally is your job. It's your profession. It's been your profession long before anyone you're going to meet, and even probably after some people. So
It's been my profession before social media, before internet. I mean, I came from baby child model to like teen model to adult model. Like
you've always been in
my
front
life.
of the camera. But
Yeah.
when it comes to like dating, and I feel like there is a double standard. Like maybe not. I'm sure some women have issues with dudes that are in the light of the but I'm not talking about just being on social media or being kind of well known for whatever, but in particular your thing being a model, but then also being a nude model and stuff like that. Like,
And being an OnlyFans girl.
yeah, well there you go. Because of
Impossible.
how hard is that to navigate those waters? Are those waters rough?
Difficult to meet the caliber of man that I'm attracted to. So it's that person is not a fan. They're not a fanboy. You know what I mean?
I'm sure that's a no-no off the yeah.
Right. They have to be super confident and be able to tolerate this, and also still want the same things that I want. Like we have like put women in this, especially women, in this category where if they do sexy things, they couldn't possibly want to also be a wife and a mother. How dare they?
Yeah.
Right? But here I am now, 35, still selling sexy things, and I want a family. So it's difficult to meet that guy that's like, I'm cool with this for now. This is fucking temporary. I'm not doing this when I'm 45. I'm not doing this when I'm 40, hopefully. Like, this is fun right now, and it's a means right now, but it's temporary. All this stuff is temporary. My looks are temporary, you know? But
a lot of
dating and doing serious things with someone who will take me seriously, that's hard to find. It's real fucking hard to find.
I mean, you just said like a lot of powerful things, and shit, I want to like touch on them all. My stoner goldfish brain is fucking with me. But so you first off, you said your age, which is like a societal like taboo. A lot of women won't say that.
Oh no, I tell everyone I'm 35.
Yeah,
I'm like, yes, I'm 35. Look at me.
35. I always tell people I'm 44 or 47. I'm definitely not. I'm not even in my 40s. I just like to fuck with you. But that was a powerful thing for you to even do that right there. And then, the confidence level thing is a tough one for everybody. I remember being younger, like, and maybe I really, really liked somebody. Maybe not like you love somebody, like your confidence is a little low because you're so vulnerable when you love. Like is you're there, but when you're vulnerable when you love, it's like everything's on a chopping block. You're talking about being together forever. And so when you're more vulnerable, I think jealousy could, if it comes about, it will come about in a more fierce fashion or those things. And that confidence level is a tough one, right? And
yeah,
women and men both are very attracted to confidence, and and not being like worried about what this woman or this man or this person does is a very attractive thing for the other person. And then you mentioned the thing about like I have a chapter in my book about this. I called it "The Mother and the Whore." About men, especially, I used to have this problem about compartmentalizing. Like, can I have a woman that I'm super attracted to, that's very sexy, and all these lustful and powerful desires are about, and could she be a family, a wife, a mother?
Because you're biologically wired to like be territorial and have this like thing that you keep to yourself. And my career choices are threatening to men because they think I have more access to be able to cheat or stray.
Yeah.
When in fact, everyone has the same access.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, this is gonna sound like the most fucked up and offensive shit, and I don't mean to be like this.
Go for it. Go for it.
I mean, beautiful people in this society have it a little easier with certain things. Now, not always, because we see some very confident people get by, and not just men. I know some confident women who might not fit the beauty archetype, but they have a lot of confidence. In the man, also, maybe he's confident, has a lot of money, that helps too, you know, or he's got he's powerful or whatever. But and you know, like you're a pretty good looking woman. I'm a decent looking man. If we had like, you had like one eyeball, I had 5 ears, we both weighed 500 pounds, our access to like be scandalous lowers a little bit.
Right. But now let's say that I was a teacher or a nurse.
Yeah.
Right. I have more access. I'm working with more people. I'm not on Instagram.
Ah.
I have more secrecy.
Ah, good point.
Okay. Let me tell you something. If I fuck more than one guy and I post the wrong kind of photo with someone somewhere on Instagram, guarantee you one of them will shout me out in the comments. Oh. I don't have privacy with who I date.
I'm sure you get a lot of wild comments on your shit.
Like, so if I was dating someone and I disrespected them on social media, I guarantee they would call me out on it.
I would always take any of my personal shit, even if it's not like a significant other, say it's like a guy I'm doing business with or whatever, I'm gonna hit you on the personal tip, the phone call, the text, preferably in person. But I'm sure you get some of that shit dragged on your social media too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I generally date people who are more mature than that, but it's like, you know, you just never, and there are people, there are comments where people act like I know them. I'm like, I don't know this fucking person.
Maybe because they have a rapport with you only on social media, only on videos.
Right. They'll be like, Leanne, your ass is looking great. And I'm like,
they hit you with the Leanne because they think they want to personalize it. They want,
Right. And I'm like, oh, other people who know me are going to think that I know this person. I don't fucking know them, you know? So if I was dating someone insecure, he might be like, who's that person? I have no idea who that person is. I don't know. But this can happen to another person who is a school teacher or a nurse who someone says the wrong thing to in front of their significant other. Access doesn't, people think that if I'm naked on the internet, then I must sleep with more people. That's not how life actually
naked
works.
When you go to the grocery store, the gas station, the doctor's office.
Right, you can get hit on anywhere. You can get picked up anywhere. Yeah. I actually work with less people. You know what I mean? When I go to work every day, that could literally just be me setting up my ring light in my bedroom by myself. You know what I mean?
A photographer or a lighting person, or it's a less.
Right. Photographers, lighting, whatever, they're professional. Do you know how many times a photographer, like, I'm standing in front where I'm supposed to be, I'm on my mark, and I'm like, hello, pay attention to me, do I look good? And they're tweaking the light because they could not care fucking less that I'm standing there butt naked.
Because there's money involved for everybody. Everybody stands to benefit if the job is done well. I used to work like run security in a strip club, and a lot of, especially dudes, would be like, oh, that sounds like the coolest job. And like, you know, the allure wore off real fast. It's not the first time I've been around like a lot of women and stuff like that. And eventually you're just there to work. You kind of resent the job because you got to deal with drunk motherfuckers and all that shit. So you're walking through the club, there's like naked girls, and you don't even fucking know, dude. Like, I'm there, like, I'm looking at my fucking watch. I want to go home. I want to write. I want to get out of this low, whatever paying job. Like, you're not looking forward to the job, you know? At least for that. Right. I mean, I get what you're saying is what I'm saying.
But people will see it as like you having more access, you know? Like, I would get shitted on for being a nude model, but I had way more access when I was bartending. When I was bartending, I was getting hit non-stop.
I would say bartending, I would be, if I was to play the insecure man role, dating some girl, I'd be more insecure about the bartending because my mother was a bartender, so I used to see the shit she's done. I've been in a million bars in my life. I've been there with my friends like, dude, I'm going to pull the bartender. I'm like, just order the fucking drink, bro. I just want the drink. She don't care about it. Because you're dealing with a million people, and there's every guy with a little booze in him thinks she's gonna like me. Like the same thing with strippers, but with the bartender, even different, because you know.
At least with the bartending, I was able to tell whoever I was seeing, like, come watch me work one night. Like,
Yeah,
don't talk to
how
me,
professional you
come
are.
watch me work. And they were like, okay, I get it. Because I was a sassy, bitchy bartender. And I had the kind of following that enjoyed that. I wasn't fucking nice to these people. I wasn't like, yeah, you can totally take me out later. I was like, fuck you. I'm not giving you my number. And they love that. They came back for that.
I think like customers, like repeat customers, like a rapport with a bartender. They go back there. They like, maybe they're attracted to him. I've seen that. But I think it's something like you just want to have someone you can talk to and feel like cool with, get the drinks from, but not always thinking they're gonna like get her number, take her home. You know,
Right.
when I worked at that strip club, there was customers that would come in for our bartenders.
Mhm.
They would ask who's bartending tonight, not who was dancing. They didn't care. They wouldn't even look
Oh,
at
yeah.
the stage because they really wanted. They were drinkers. They wanted to sit there and talk to the person. Like, and it didn't even have to be the most attractive. Like, they just who's the report. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mother bartended up into her 60s. You know, obviously not like, you know, like maybe the young people bars and shit, but you know, just she was a good bartender. Regular, was used to like, fuck off. Like, you know, I'm used to your bullshit.
Right.
You gotta have thick skin. I've never been a bartender. I don't think I could do it.
You do have to have thick skin.
I do not have that. I mean, I have thick skin, but I also have a bad temper.
You have to be able to tell people to go fuck themselves. The worst part is cutting people off from drinking.
Oh, dude. Well, at the strip club, I would tend to see a drunk motherfucker who was being sloppy, or maybe a dancer reported them, and the bartender or the waitress might not be aware, or obviously their incentive is more tips. I'd be like, yo, homeboy is like done. He's a rat. Got to cut him off.
You see it coming too. Like, you see it. You're like, they're about to spin out. I know it.
I'm pretty good, I think, at like gauging people's drunkenness. And I drink myself. I'll say that so no one thinks I'm being hypocritical. But I grew up with my mother when I was younger was like dealing with alcoholism in the times when I was like, you know, teenage years. So I was very hyper aware of it because it became an issue for mine, right? And obviously it affected my relationship with girls or women who drank a lot or would get too drunk or whatever, but I could see it coming on. And then I had friends like homies that would get a little too faded. I could see it coming on early, like, okay, we got to get you water. You got to be watered up right now. You're done for the night. Maybe you need to eat. Maybe you can lay down.
Yeah.
You know, I could see it, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's like and you never know which way they're going to fucking go. It can be like a bull in a china shop sometimes.
Everyone has like different, I think booze does different things to different people. Sometimes they're like a gremlin. You give them like 2 drinks too many, and they just turn literally into a whole other creature and a person. Some people are actually like, I'm nicer, I think, when I'm drinking. I'm less on edge. I'm very less confrontation. I'm more friendly. Some people get sloppy and sloppy.
I dated a female gremlin where this was like 4 years ago. This was the last relationship I had. That was like 4 years ago. She would have like 1 or 2 drinks and it was like, who are you right now? And the night could easily end in police. It was like, I can't do this, bro.
Like, I mean, you know, if you get somebody who drinks for like 10 hours and they you know, throwing shots back and they're going hard, anybody with that much booze could be, you know, an issue. But there's those people, those 2 drink people.
People that just like something flips in their brain. Yeah, that shit is scary.
And like I haven't dated somebody like that in a while, but I have male friends like that and some family like that, and it's like, oh God,
not fun. It's so not fun.
We got to stay in the house if you drinking, you know.
I was a happy, fun drunk.
Yeah.
And then I became allergic to alcohol.
So what does that mean? All alcohol? Because alcohol is derived from many different things.
So here's what I learned through this allergy is that if you're allergic to one thing, you will eventually become allergic to everything in its family.
So like, if I'm allergic to apples, I'll become allergic to all fruit? Or no, because only the apple family.
I guess the apple family.
Probably. So we're all booze, wine, vodka, tequila, rum, beer, fucking.
It started years ago with tequila, where I was at a bachelorette party. We were dressed as dirty Disney princesses at the Gentleman's Club Sapphire, which was like, what a bomb night.
Yeah, that's
so I was drunk, dirty Snow White. And I was drinking my bottle of JMO. We bought bottles. I was like, me.
I recall that you enjoy the Jameson, the whiskey.
Oh my God, that's like, I call him my ex-husband now. I still love him. I still love it. Like if I can smell him on someone's breath, that would probably make my day.
A whiskey smell makes me sick to my stomach. It's like
Oh no, I love it. If I could just smell it, I'd be like, oh, I love you. But so my Jameson in, the dimly lit gentleman's club got confused with like Cuervo, that gold color,
Yeah, it was kind.
So I start drinking that. I woke up, I like blacked out in the limo, woke up at the hotel. I was the color gray. And everyone was too fucked up. It was lucky that I just didn't die. But like I went home the next day and my mother's like, you're gray. You have to go to the hospital. And I'm like, no, I refuse to go to the hospital. Refuse. I just puked my brains out. I'm telling my doctor about it. He's like, it sounds like you had alcohol poisoning. So I didn't make anything of it. Yeah. I tried tequila by itself and instant headache, like my skin flushed. It was just a bad reaction. I was like, okay, I can't drink tequila. I don't even like it that much. Fine. Go back to my JMO. I end up being consistent JMO for years. I take shots at work all night, every night. I mean, I could drink. Like I drank a lot especially when I was bartending. My work husband, who's like a guy that was 3 times my size.
Real thing. Work husband, work wife. That's a real thing.
Work husband. He was a man 3 times my size, and we did shot for shot all night, and that was normal for me.
You're like the girl in the Indiana Jones movie that'd be drinking those juice down in that weird bar in like Tibet or whatever.
Well, you know what? My family said that to me when I was younger. They're like, we're going to teach you how to drink so that a man can't take advantage of you. And it worked because I could outdrink most men that I dated. And I was proud of it too. It's like, I could drink more than you, no problem.
That's hilarious.
It was a shit. And I was a happy, fun drunk. Yeah. But I was at work and I could count, my register would be perfect to the dollar every night. And I wouldn't remember counting it the next day. Like, I'm like, I Ubered home. I left my car at work all the time, just wrecked. But everything was clean and everything was accounted for, And so I was just taking shots one night and I'm like, yo, I can't get rid of this headache. This is like a bad migraine. I felt miserable. This happened probably a dozen times. And my doctor's like, you're allergic. Like, you have to stop doing this. Your body's going to keep reacting to it. And it did. I felt physically ill until I finally said, I'll take a break. I'm just going to take like 2 or 3 weeks off from drinking, which was tough because of the environment I was in. But I did it.
Stop at a bar when you're bartending.
Well, all of a sudden I felt healthy and I was like, oh my God, I can't remember ever feeling like this. Like my platform for health was here where everyone else's was here. Yeah. So I thought this was normal.
Yeah.
So when I stopped drinking and then a month went by, another month went by, I realized my brain started making more like serotonin.
Oh yeah.
I had like spurts of joy and I was like, what? I asked my therapist, I was like, what is going on in my brain? He's like, your body stopped relying on you to provide happiness. So it's doing it by itself, which is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's true.
That was freaky.
The grail. That shit's hard to find sometimes.
Oh my! And then once I realized this, I was like, I gotta quit drinking. This is stupid.
Yeah, that's a good reason, and that sounds like the way people have to go about to find what fucks with them is tricky. You have to bring it in and out of your diet. I mean, I did that way different. I did that with dairy products, like way young when I was younger. I kept getting sick, and my doctor was like, lay off all dairy for a month, then eat some dairy and see what's up. And I was like, oh, this is never for me. I can't do it.
Your body will tell you, man.
That's why I don't have any allergies. I mean, the lactose intolerance, but it's not an allergy. I don't get I guess I get sick. I mean, it fucks my stomach up, but I don't have any allergies except for like dust and pollen.
Right.
Food or a drink. I got friends and people allergic to, everything from apparently alcohol, fucking apples, fruit, bees, like different shit, celiac disease, gluten, whatever,
It's a game changer when you figure that out and you realize what healthy is supposed to be like. And you're like, I prefer this.
No, I can totally. I mean, that's like a lot of people I know who get sober, who have had like an issue. It's like a big change for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Addictions, like alcoholism, stuff like that is in my family. So I consider it like divine intervention. I'm like, the way I was drinking and the way I was capable of drinking, there's no way that was going to go anywhere good.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, I flirt with the dangers of it myself. Both sides of my family has different addiction issues. Uh, and sometimes I get worried because I'll go on like long stretches of wildness, and then I go on these like long stretches of nothing. Maybe smoking weed only, but like I'll go on like long stretches.
Smoke weed. Smoke
You know,
weed.
and it's weird that like, I'm able to do that sometimes because I get scared that I have an addictive personality. But then if I stop something for a month or 6 weeks or 3 weeks or 8 weeks,
Yeah.
like if I have friends who in family who are addicted, they can't just do that.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't know where I'm at. I'm on the path I'm on, or maybe, who knows
Right.
what turn out.
With people like us that have families like we do, the capability is always there.
Yeah. That's what my fear is.
There can always be a tipping point.
Yeah, that's my fear is like, what if I get into a bad habit cycle? What if certain things go afoul in my life?
You took the other route. So like we could take one of two routes. We go and follow the path, or we become control freaks.
Well, I always had this theory that people who have a parent or both parents with an addiction or substance abuse issue, some of them like never even try anything, right? Like I was puzzled by the kid who's never tried alcohol, weed, whatever.
There's usually a story.
Yeah, but they're scared as fuck because they saw mom or dad or whoever, or it's so normalized in your household, like this is fine. That in my case was the normalized one. I was like, everyone's doing this in my house, so why wouldn't it be all right,
Yeah.
And then when you get older, realize it's maybe not all good. You're so far in, it's tricky to pull back.
I know. You test yourself. Like, can I?
I love testing. I like danger a little. That's my problem. So I like to like walk by the edge of everything, and not just with substances. I like to push myself everywhere, dude. Like,
oh yeah.
And that's my problem. I'm just that kind of dude. Danger. I like adventure in every form. And so that even when it comes to like altering my mind, because sometimes I can't climb this mountain or surf this crazy place or go to this dangerous place and maybe get in a situation where my life's on the line. So instead I'll drink or do some drugs or some shit. That's the same challenge, which is not.
You know, what's interesting is that I thought that I was going to be missing out on that aspect when I stopped drinking. Yeah. And it's a little scary because you figure out, or at least I figured out, that I'm still capable of making ridiculous choices and mistakes as a sober person. I was like, oh, this is just who I am. Like, I still make poor decisions. And I'm like, I thought that was going to go away with alcohol. No, this is who I am. I still make stupid choices.
I stone out on shit, and then I'm like, maybe it's the weed, like these silly, stupid stoner.
Maybe it's just who you are.
Yeah, and like the only thing I really don't like about weed is it gives me the appetite of a village. Like I can, and I'm really trying to curb my snacking. I'm getting older. I exercise almost every day. I try to stay healthy. And if I smoke weed, I'll eat anything. You give me some kale, I'll eat the kale. But you give me a bag of fucking Cheetos, I'll eat that too. So I'm really trying to like master my high and like smoke weed still because it helps me do other things. But not.
I got a tip for you. This is what I got. Okay. So in like the height of New York COVID, which was early on, March and April, right? Now I'm home. I have nothing to do, and I don't drink.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the fuck? I was like, well, at least I smoke weed, right? So I just started smoking a lot of fucking weed. So I was just high as fuck for like 3 months, okay? I was just fucking stoned and doing OnlyFans. Life was great. And I was like, I need to slow the fuck down because I was the most fit I had ever been before COVID hit. I mean, I had muscle that I never had. I was like, good. And then this all just went to hell. I had no more hot yoga. I had no more discipline. I didn't know what time of day it was anymore. I was eating everything, eating greasy Spanish food. Like, fuck it. Why not? No one on OnlyFans gives a fuck. They just want my ass to get bigger, right? Who cares what I'm eating? I started mixing. This is recent. I started mixing my weed with, and you can buy this pre-made online, but like lavender, rose, muslin is a lung protectant, all this other stuff. So much better.
Yeah.
Less weed, more other good stuff.
Yeah.
Calm you, chill you, not get you so fucked up, less cravings,
Yeah.
less easy. Mix your shit.
It's a good tip. Lux has got the good ganja tips for
All
you.
that incense that you burn, you could smoke that shit.
I've been asking. I have a lot of people in the cannabis industry in the game, and I'm asking them, "What's the strain that won't give you munchies? Please, fucking find it, make it. I'll pay you to fucking come up with it in a laboratory because that's a problem for me. That's literally the only problem for me." And I've actually been pretty good lately. I got in a little habit the last 3 weeks or so where I haven't been snacking. I've been like a Nazi with sugar. No sugar in the house. Well, except not sugar. We have sugar. My girl puts it in the coffee. But I drink my coffee black. I don't want any sweets except for fruit and super dark chocolate, 70% cacao or more. And I'm really trying to just like avoid that bullshit at night, you know? Yeah, shame myself as well. It's not healthy, but it works.
I'm like, you know what? The world is like burning, and I'm not gonna deprive myself of some unhealthy shit.
I mean, I definitely here and there, I'm gonna sidestep. I mean, I'm drinking right now, or like I might eat a pie.
Sometimes you just need a little something, you know?
Yeah, and I treat myself. For me, treating myself isn't always like eating something I'm saying no to, but it's doing something maybe I shouldn't, or like sleeping in a little, or just whatever, taking a day off, working out, or whatever. But I do treat myself like a motherfucker.
We're on that self-care.
Yeah, I'll try. I have a tendency to like punish myself and help others. It's some stupid bullshit Catholic martyr residue crap. But I've been putting a lot of focus and effort into taking care of myself first so I can make sure I can take care of people I care about.
Yeah, well, hey, that's good. You know, I did I didn't have to, but I did like an online 12-step thing. My therapist was like, hey,
Look at you.
it's really cool to do since you're not drinking. It's going to be much easier for you because you're choosing to not drink. It's not like court ordered, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you can work the steps online because there's so much to gain from it. Even if you are not an alcoholic, even if you're just like a regular whatever, there's so much to gain from that. So I did it, and you get to the part of making amends. And I was like, this is fascinating because it made me realize how many empty apologies I gave in my life.
Yeah.
Making amends is a game changer. Sometimes, you know, it doesn't have to be like a Catholic guilt thing or like a Jewish guilt thing in my case. It's just kind of like you should do shit for people. Not all the time, but you should do some shit for people. Like it's good.
It feels
good to be good to people.
Yeah. For me, like what you're talking about, I put it in the realm of forgiveness. Not just like, you know, me forgiving others, but asking for forgiveness feels good too. Whether they give it to you or not, that's up to them and on their schedule.
Oh, yeah.
But the simple act of you asking for it takes some burden off your back. And then forgiving others takes even more so off. And I learned that shit about 5.5 years ago. I didn't know how to do that, and it changed my whole life.
I didn't either.
Yeah. It feels
It
good.
makes you realize that you're like selfish.
And you know, we all kind of have our selfish moments, and then I think some of us, I think for me and other people I know who work in entertainment, whether it was music or modeling or dancing or acting or whatever, sometimes you get so caught up in you because you're working on your career. You don't work for like a company. You're not working to like part of a team per se. So it's very easy, at least for me, to like get caught up in that realm of selfishness.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, we have to. If you work for yourself, you don't have a day off.
Yeah.
If I tell myself I'm gonna relax today, that still means that I'm going to be doing shit on my phone. But I'm gonna be doing it from a relaxed position on my couch. I don't actually have the day off. You
don't punch in and punch out when you work for yourself, because even when you're done, it's swirling around in the fucking brain, dude. I wake up early as fuck sometimes, just like, I got this idea, or I got to do this, or shit, this went wrong. But I've always been kind of jealous and envious of people who have a decent job, who go in it like 9 to 5 or whatever, and they come in, it's gone, they leave it there, and they're relaxed.
And now I'm like, oh, you have such wonderful boundaries. Like, what is that like? What is that life like?
But then again, the grass is greener. I bet 4 months into that, I'd be like, oh, fuck this, you know? I don't know.
Oh my God, like day 2, I'd be like, this sucks.
Day 2 is more realistic, yeah. Some people are just not.
I don't want to take orders from someone.
What's the stone on your necklace right there?
Oh, this This is Larimar. This is a stone from that occurs in DR.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, break it down. Lux is half Dominican.
Yes.
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 Yeah, this is half a Dominican household that I'm in as well. So
Nice.
yeah. I have the necklace on me, like the charm doesn't hang in the middle as well as it does for you. I do a lot of push-ups. Sometimes at the right angle, my cleavage looks all right if I do a lot of push-ups from the right angle. You know?
My cleavage is popping today because I just came from a pole fitness training that I'm doing.
Good workout.
I'm being trained by like a world champion, fucking this amazing, gorgeous chick, Yumiko Harris. She trains at the Foxy Fitness pole dance studio in New York City. So I just came from the city. She kicks my ass. I'm learning some fun shit, but I am sore. But my muscles are popping right now.
There you go, dude. There you go. That's important.
You gotta get creative at 35.
And I do all kinds of different things for exercise to keep me active. And even if I'm not doing like a heavy one, I'll take like an hour walk, which is like weird to people in LA. But I'll do an hour walk, even if I worked out and did weights or surf that day. I always try to stay active, and I don't mind walking, but like doing something. And that's very creative. Like I don't think I'm about to join a pole dancing class myself. You got to be creative.
It'd be so easy. Yeah, I'm jealous of guys because you guys naturally have the upper body strength. It's easy for you. Like you could do it and it would be so easy for you. You'd be bored.
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
Your pull-up game is going to be crazy. A lot of girls and women I know can do a lot of pull-ups and chimps. That's my main workout. But I bet yours is probably pretty good. That's like a lot of core.
It is. I'm like the heaviest part of me is my butt, and I am now pulling my butt up a pole.
That's funny. The lightest part of me is probably my butt. So it's easy, you know. But I get it, man. So you got to be creative in shit like that. And I think it's like it's good too to like find healthy ways to want to be active and exciting, because people are like, I don't want to run. I hate running. Running hurts my knees. My knees are jacked up. And some people think the only way you're going to get cardio is running, or you got to go lift 1,000 pounds. But there's other ways to kind of get creative and active and have fun and not hate the fucking thing you're doing. You know?
Got to find something. And like these at-home workouts were not doing it for me. I was setting up my laptop, getting on my yoga mat, and I was just like laying there, just like not doing it.
Oh, you know what I've noticed? And I kind of probably late to the game, because believe it or not, Lux, on the interwebs, on Instagram, I don't follow a lot of like, the only shit I follow is like skateboarding, surfing, and like joke ass memes, right? I don't follow anything else, but I don't follow a lot of like, you know, sexy women doing sexy women things. But all of a sudden in the last couple months on like the suggested feeds, a lot of workout or fitness vids have popped up. Not like straight model girls and like very slender, skinny bikini lines and what have you, but workout shit. But it has a sexual appeal to it, and not even a sleek version, a very overt sexual appeal to the workout shit. Would you ever like kind of maybe broadcast your workouts and your trainings for your career?
You know what? On OnlyFans, sometimes I'll just randomly throw up like a naked yoga stretching thing that I do. And it's so funny because sometimes that will get more love than when I'm doing more shit. Like they love the naked stretching workout. Because I think it's almost like it gives them like a voyeuristic feel to it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I think besides me wanting to just get more fit and creative I have a dance background, so adding the pole to it is cool. But also I was like, with Instagram and social media changing, how am I going to be able to put stuff up that won't get taken down? You're going to have to be more creative. Pole dancers are wearing sexy stuff, doing sexy creative choreography. Their posts are not taken down.
Smart.
Like pole is now going to be like in the Olympics or whatever. They just got like considered for being an Olympic sport.
Shit.
They just passed some whatever.
They have that fucking sport where they literally throw a rock. The shot put. That's literally.
Oh my God! What about the
sport
shit?
Yeah, exactly. If your sport is throwing a rock, then yes, pole dancing should be a sport.
100%.
The other sports encompass throwing a rock plus running plus throwing it into a basket and catching. So yeah, I mean.
Yeah, so that's gonna be. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start posting a bunch of fucking sexy dance videos and not get taken down by the man on Instagram.
You know, the voyeur aspect, it's funny you said that, because maybe like the reason why those videos are popping up on my feed, appearing on my feed, is that me or whoever it is viewing it is going to be more apt to watch those, because it's not presented like, here's a model, here's a picture of her, we know this is a model in a bikini on the rocks at the beach. It's a regular woman at a gym working out that you might normally encounter, but we're obviously going to shoot the angle from here to catch her ass, or these.
Right, and if she's doing squats.
Yeah, and that's what it always is. There's never, there's never a squat video from the front with a girl. You know what I'm saying? And listen, if I was a girl doing squats with a butt, I would probably not do that either. I'd have the camera behind me. It's smart. It's marketing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I want to
see what our butt looks like.
Instagram is like in my fucking, in all of our brains, but they want to like, they're trying to get me. They're like, let's get them on the voyeur show. Let's get the workout shit.
Yeah, the voyeur stuff sells. It really does. People like that. I'm like, do people like being a creep, or do they like feeling like they're a part of your life or something?
I think it's a little of the creep thing. I think it's also because it looks like regular, like, oh, I'm at the gym, I run into somebody, or maybe not run into him, but see somebody in the gym working out. Where if I see this super beautiful model in this expensive lingerie in this bed that looks too fancy for me, that would never happen in my real life. You know what I'm saying? Unless she really likes me.
This is why girls are selling so much on OnlyFans, because I take so much content myself. You know, you have like a point of view of me at home being me. Some of my content, I have no makeup on. I'm just like in the shower. It's like a boyfriend experience, a boyfriend-girlfriend experience.
But people like that. It's regular.
Oh, yeah. There's no camera crew here. There's no dude here. It's me and you. That's it.
I think people probably definitely like that. Even maybe more than the creeps. I'm sure that the creeps are still there, but that's even maybe more than
always.
They're there, dude. They're there. Are there female creeps?
You know, I wouldn't say creeps, but I do have some female fans for sure.
Well, I'm sure you do, but I mean, like, do you ever get a DM or a weird comment from a female fan that mirrors some of those male fan?
No, but I get men pretending to be women, and it's so fucking clear.
Fake profile, like my name is Cassandra, and
yes, and they have like maybe 5 or 6 photos that are clearly stolen.
It's a lot of work.
And they're just like, but their first message is like, hey, I'm a lesbian and I really like that. And it's like, if you were a lesbian, you would not message me telling me you're a lesbian.
Oh, yeah. You can usually tell real quick with some fake shit like that. Like,
yeah.
When someone says, hey, just to let you know, like, I'm a drug dealer, like, we could make some business together. Like,
right.
You're going to know something's up, you know?
That's how they do. That's how they approach it on in the DM. So just like, I'm a lesbian and I know you like girls too. I think we should make out. I'm like, no girl would say this to me. No female would say this to me. Female fans will like, you're so pretty and send you like a blushy emoji. And I'm like, shut up, you are. And like, we blush back and forth. That's
a little more like, I don't know, humble commenting or
yeah, it's cute.
I like you throw 8 fucking eggplant emojis in your shit. Like, yo, what's up? WYD.
I love your ass. We should go on a date. I'm like, no, I think I'm all good.
That's how you sweep a woman off their feet. Of course, dude. Please learn that shit. Sometimes I hear some of these kind of things. I'm like, where the fuck did these guys all go to a class? And is there like a pamphlet that was passed around? Like, in
where God,
man, like it's just the creepiest approaches. It seems like
someone told them to be persistent, and they lied. They lied to them.
I'm like, do you hear yourself out loud? Do you think anybody would like fall for this or be enticed by this? Like, what the? I don't know. Blows my mind.
You know what blows my mind is having to actually reject someone that like I clearly have not let on. That, like, why would you put me in the position to reject you if you know that I'm not interested?
Take the fucking hint. It's that persistence shit. It's like people.
I'm not shy. Nothing about me or my Instagram or my persona, nothing says that I am shy. So like, if I'm interested, you're gonna know. Like, I promise.
These live in fantasy fucking island.
Right.
If anyone wants to see you on the interwebs or anywhere, where would you suggest they go to do so?
So Instagram would be at Leevon Lux, as long as Instagram lets me live there. And onlyfans.com/LuxSuicide. You can find me mostly under Leevon Lux, but OnlyFans is still on Lux Suicide.
And I'll put all that in the bio. And yeah, Lux used to be a suicide girl.
Yes.
Right? Some people might know what suicide girls are, might not. Briefly, would you mind sharing with us?
Yeah, they're like the alternative nude scene. So like, you know, Playboy used to be the popular thing. Now Suicide Girls is the popular thing, where the girls have an alternative beauty. And they are naked on the website. And I worked with them for years, and they definitely gave me like the start that I had in the nude industry. And we had like no breakup or anything. I just decided to change my name because I haven't worked with them in so long. And I want to keep the credit of the work that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I went back to an old modeling name that I had.
It's all your work.
Yeah.
You know, the Suicide Girl thing, it's crazy because I know people like before I knew you, like I knew about it, and I knew people who either knew other Suicide Girls or were, I don't know, somehow involved or went to like the live kind of things you guys used to do, or Suicide Girls used to do rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely must have been a good like platform, good jumping off point in some ways for you, you know. But I guess once you get kind of like established and have your clout, you got your shit, right?
Exactly. It's like my body of work now speaks for itself. You don't have to go to this website to see it.
Fucking independence, man.
Exactly. I love it. I have a love-hate relationship with it.
I mean, I think it's always ill when someone gets to a point where whatever it is that they're doing, especially artistically or expression-wise, you're on your own. You've used all the help you can get from platforms, and they've given you opportunities, and you're on your own and you control your own shit, you know?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I love that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Now more than ever, this year more than ever, we learned to like do all of our own shit and not need other people for it because we couldn't have access to them.
A real good lesson naturally. I gotta say, Lux, you have done an A1, like fantastic job of your robe and my robe are a little different. Your robe has stayed in the most appropriate places. If I happen to have the same physical artillery as you, my robe would have came very inappropriate at times because it's kind of loose.
I've had to like finagle it a little bit. There may have been a couple of
you obviously have like with that very, very precise. That's why you're a professional. I'm not. I would never make it in your world. Look, I'm sloppy. I'm sloppy. I get canceled from Instagram. Maybe I wouldn't get canceled. Well, I guess I would. Yeah.
Your nipples are allowed, not mine.
My nipples are sensitive. Little. I don't like touching my nipples. Yeah. But I need to get one of your robes though, because I need the wizard sleeves. I need to cast a fucking spell.
I'm about to sage my house in this right now because why not?
I would imagine that robe smells like sage and Palo Santo.
Eucalyptus and sage, like that's what I smell like.
You might line some motherfucking chakra in that shit.